All right, so let's just take a look at some of the results we've had here from our big campaign. And like I mentioned at the beginning, I didn't really expect to make any profit from this campaign, but I ended up making a little bit of money so far, which is actually pretty good and actually quite surprising. I did some things in behind the scenes here, and I just want to explain what I did to try to push it a little bit. I also made a bit of a mistake, so I lost out some profits on that, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But let's just take a look at some of the results here. So far I've got 110 sales on the one for the Montreal Canadiens. Unfortunately, the Canadiens didn't proceed onto the playoffs finals, so I noticed a drop in sales today, but I still got about 3 or 4 sales, so I left it open. I could technically just shut it down because I don't know if I'll actually make much for profit. And this one really wasn't that profitable. I'll show you the results here. I think I'll only make maybe 100 or 200 bucks on that. This one made a little bit of money as well. They remember we went and changed the design and relaunched it. We actually made a bit of money on that. And I did add this one down here based on comments, so I added the word white into it. And I didn't throw any ads at this one at all. So the traffic going to this one is just from me responding to people's comments, and also I have a linking from this one over to the other one. And so there's 8 sales there. If I actually get 2 more sales, I'll be able to squeeze out about 100 bucks from this, and then I can add that to the profit of overall. I'm not that confident it's going to get 2 more sales, but I'll just leave them on. You never know, it might. And of course, I just went and canceled all the other ones. Like I just ended all the ones that weren't converting to bring any sales at all. So see, they're all canceled there. Let's go see how much it costs to make this kind of money here. And I keep saying this, I just want to reassure that this whole campaign wasn't, my intention in this campaign wasn't to make any money. I just really wanted to show you the process. It just turned out that I actually did make a little bit of money. So let's go back to log into my campaigns here, and you can see this is the one campaign we had running. So I spent $1,500 there. And remember, we did have that other one for the one more. That was 100 bucks there. So let's go and take a look at the bleed campaign. And we could see I've actually done some stuff in here. So I've just paused all those other ones I'm not sending to. And this initial Blackhawks bleed campaign, that's the one where it was shut down by Teespring. But I redid it, and you can see I have 3 campaigns running for the bleed campaign for Blackhawks. And let's just take a look at that first. So we're looking at 156. So let's go ahead and just count up this money here and see. I'll just open up Excel. So we'll do the Blackhawks one first. So 156, and then we'll take this one, Control C. I'll just throw it in here real quickly. And then 2106. Then using the Excel. So I'll select that and hit the little summation button. So $198 it cost to list those. And I don't have much for profits there. Where is it? 213. I will get a bit of a bonus because I went over my goal amount. So yeah, we didn't make much profit on that one here. This one minus this one. What do we got here? $15. Not much. But it's pretty good for just an example, for example purposes. Let's take a look at the other one. So this one was $1,300. And let's see how much I spent on that campaign there. We spent, so 500 and something here. Oops. And then, what was the last one? 687. So if we add those two up, that's how much we paid. Now if we take this, so we go this minus this, 150 bucks plus that, so $160, 165 bucks we made profit. All right, my phone just went off there. I had to check it and pause the video. All right, I was just talking about the profit we made, which wasn't that much. Honestly, I'll probably end up just stopping all of these because it's just not enough money, $150 profit. But in any case, it looks like I pretty much broke even because we did spend that other $100 in the other campaign down there. So if we go back, you can see that $100 there. So I made only $50, but all in all, that wasn't bad. Definitely, it's really good for analyzing the market. I can see that there is some potential with the Blackhawks and also the Canadians for selling product. So now I want to talk about some of the things I did in order to increase my conversions. So the number one thing that I always do is let's talk about my mistake I did. So after I saw that it was converting the 2 bleed campaigns, so if we go to the ads here, I look at just active 2 bleed campaigns for the Canadians down here. I noticed they were converting. I was making some money, so I went and jacked up the ad spend per day. So I got to go back to the ad sets. Sorry, the ad sets here, and I simply went into here, and you see it's $50 a day across all of them. But I actually jacked it up to like $500 a day for both of these for a couple of days, and then that's how I spent a ton of money. And then I noticed that I was losing money on those campaigns, and I was like, oh no, so I had to bring it back down. So I did eat up a lot of my profits there. So I probably ate up about $200 worth of profit, not dialing in the campaigns enough, and I was a little late. And now that they didn't make it to the playoffs, from usually when I do a lot of NFL stuff, if they don't make the next game, they lose, all my sales die real quick. Even though there's passionate fans out there that will still buy it, overall, most of the fans, I think, are just a little upset and don't want to buy anything, right? Anyhow, it's just what happens. But what I should have done is dialed in the ads quicker before I started scaling up this number, making it larger. And let me show you the things that I did. So let's just look into this one here. So what I did is, the first thing I did is I went in and I looked at who was buying and what age group was buying, and I found that 18 to 24 was the highest number of sales that I could find within the reports tool. Mostly males, so I just went with male, and I just kept changing the targets by just hitting edit targets here, and then I'll change the targets in here, and then I'd go ahead and save it. Unfortunately, because this is focusing on Canada, I wasn't able to use any of the behavioral stuff and any of the demographic stuff, so that's what made it a little bit more difficult. But I could still dial in the age group and the gender. Now, the last thing that I did, and I did it actually late last night, which I should have done this previously in the first place, is I should have dialed in the location better. For some strange reason, I didn't even think of that throughout this whole video, like this whole big bulk sort of case study. I should have done that in the very beginning. When I first listed the ad, I should have known to target the city, Montreal. And I also targeted, there's also Quebec in here. Anyhow, to really get to the goal, I should have just targeted Montreal at first, just to see if the shirt would sell at all. And so I ended up doing that later on. So that's where I sort of messed up a little bit. In the first place, I should have dialed it in to just Montreal. Oh yeah, this is just the city, sorry. Montreal, Quebec, Canada, with 50-mile radius. And I'm still hitting 122,000 people. And that's pretty much super targeted, because most likely the fans around that area are going to be the ones that are most diehards, right? So I had to do that at the end. And if you look at today, like, it's hard to tell from just today, but the conversions are actually not bad for click-through rates. 2% just today, because now it's super targeted. But they didn't make the playoffs or the finals, so this might have been even way better if they would have made the finals. Let's go back to it here, and I want to show you the Blackhawks. I did the same thing with the Blackhawks, and I also did something else. So there's a way to dig into your statistics using the report tools in Facebook on where the traffic came from from each state or province. And this, you have to use the old reporting tool, and you have to have some data that's been, you have to have enough data after, I think after maybe like 3 or 4 days you can even use that tool. But that's something that I don't think many people use anymore, but you have to for determining what provinces or states the traffic is coming from. And I uncovered something really cool, and I want to analyze that right now. And let's just do it for the Blackhawks one. So let's take a look at the ads for the Blackhawks here. So I'll just go to active ads, sort here. So the Blackhawks. So I got 3 ads here. This was the first one that we listed after for the new one that we changed. You can see I dialed it in now to Chicago, Illinois, right down to the city and right down to the proper age range. There are male and females buying, so I left the gender. So that was the original. So I dialed that in, and it's getting good click-through rate. Now the Bleed 3, what I'm doing is I'm dialing this into Minnesota and Texas. Now that may sound really strange, right? And trust me, I would have never known this unless I looked at a special tool inside of your reports. I'm gonna identify this, but I really want to see something right now. I want to see. You can see the click-through rate is actually pretty high, like very high. It's actually higher than this one here. And if you look at Bleed 4, I'm just going just Illinois. So I'm just targeting the state and online buyers. That's right. So this has the behavior of online buyers. I know that everyone within this group, Facebook has identified them as being people that buy a lot online. But even though my conversions are really low, so what's interesting is this one here, and I want to show you how I came about with this as well. But first I want to do is let's go into the reporting tool here. Let's go view reports. And let's look at just the Blackhawks. So let's go ad set contains Blackhawks using the little filter tool. And I don't want to see these ones or these ones here. So I just want to see I'm not sure why these ones are showing up. They shouldn't, because I'm saying the campaign has to be NHL Bleed. That's strange. Well, I can at least go and do Bleed. That gets rid of those other ones. So these two here are from the campaign that was suspended. But that's fine. I can just leave that there for now. What I want to do is go edit columns, and I want to see the demographics, basically male, female, and what age groups we're buying. So I'll go and hit add. I want to see right down to the ad level, and I'm going to go actions, and let's go checkouts, save columns. And so go way over here, and you look at the conversion, and I'll sort, and I'll look at basically the top 4 columns here are the ones where all the sales came in. So here, 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 and here. Let's take a look at those 4, and you can see they all came from Bleed 2. That was our main campaign there that we had running. That's running on the fan page right now. We can go and take a look at it here real quick. And this one I've changed over the course of the last couple of days, so it wasn't always just down to the state. I changed that based on what I'm going to show you right now. So if you go over here, you can see that male and female are buying, but I noticed the age group was 18 to 34, so that's why I went to 18 to 34. And now I want to dial in this. Now, how do you do that? So before I just had United States there, actually. I just didn't even dial it into Chicago or Illinois. So let's go and take a look at something else here. Now if we go back and you click on old reports up here, just under reports, click on old reports and select responder demographics, and you can go in and you can select by ad. And by ad, and you can go Blackhawks Bleed 2. That's the one I want to look at. Click, and I want to see for this month. And if the data is available, it will be shown. If not, it won't be. And it doesn't want to show the data. All right. So this is what I did before. So I'll just do what I did before. Okay, I select responder demographics, and I'll go for May, and then just click generate report. And then it just did this, and so it just shows all my campaigns. Like, I don't know why I couldn't dial in. So if I just go right to the bottom here and look at the Blackhawks Bleed 2, you'll see all this bunch of data here. You can see the Bleed 2 here. Oh, sorry, that's a Canadians. Okay, the Blackhawks Bleed 2. Okay, it's right here. And what I want to look at is the region variable. So you can see all these regions. These are all different states. And then over here, you want to see, okay, this first column is the percentage of impressions that were given to these states. And then the percentage of, what's this? The second column is the percentage of clickers, and then the click-through rate. So this is percentage of impressions that were displayed in that region, and then the percentage of clickers, and then the CTR click-through rate. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, just get back to the data here. And so I already know the age ranges that actually purchased, but what I want to see, unfortunately we can't see who bought, but what I'm looking for are basically in what state did most of the traffic come from. Obviously it's going to be Illinois. You can see here that 66% of all the traffic was displayed to people that live in Illinois, because that's what my targets produced. So when I selected those targets were people that are interested in the Blackhawks, the age range, if they're online bars, all that kind of stuff, that made Facebook's algorithm show my ad to 66% of the traffic went to people that live in Illinois. Okay? And funny enough, I didn't even think of that in the beginning. I should have already known that before I listed the ad. And anyhow, but now I can go through here and I can see that 60% of people here clicked, right? These are the percentage of clickers. But over in this column, this is the click-through rate. So you can see for this, we only got a 2.1% click-through rate for Illinois. And like I looked through here, and then I noticed this, holy, there's a 9% there, but where was it now? In Texas, see, at the time when I analyzed this, it was a lot less. So at Texas, it was actually like 7 or 8% click-through rate. And then I noticed Minnesota as well had a really high click-through rate. Still pretty high. And so what I did, but I noticed that not very many people actually saw my ad. Only 0.9, only like 1% of all my traffic went to Minnesota. So I decided to create a separate ad set that will focus just on Minnesota and Texas. And in fact, looking at this now, I should actually include Oklahoma, because this is the click-through rate. Even though not many people saw my ad, but those people in Oklahoma that actually like the Blackhawks, well, they clicked 7%, like 7% click-through rate, meaning they're very interested. And so that's the thing. This tool allows you to identify other states, like New Mexico, 9% click-through rate. Other states of people that have fans for Blackhawks that would buy my shirt. So that's why I created that other separate ad campaign, not ad campaign, ad set. And you could see I got like over 2% click-through rate. So there's interested buyers in other states. And this is how you do it, by looking at the old tool, the old reports tool. It's a little bit confusing, but once you look for the region for your ad and then just start identifying who is clicking, and then better yet, look at the conversion rate, like look at the click-through rate to see what states are actually really interested in your actual ad. So that's why I did that with the ad set here for Bleed 3 for Minnesota and Texas. And as you can see, like not very many people there actually like the Blackhawks, but the people that do are actually interested. So that's a pretty cool thing. So the main takeaways here is there's the procedure that I like doing is after you get a bit of data, you have to use the reports to dial in the male or female and also the age group plus the location. You want to be dialing in the location by using the old reports, right? And of course, you want to have multiple ads and testing out interest for this particular, shirt. Obviously, the main interest is just the team. So there's probably some room for improvement in there as well. And also utilizing different things like behaviors. But for this particular shirt, I couldn't utilize the behaviors simply because it was Canada market. So, but the other ones I was able to, like Blackhawks here, the online buyer. So what we could do actually is go back to the reporting tool. Let's do it through here. View reports. And let's go ad set contains Blackhawks. Okay, how about so I'll go NHL Bleed for the campaign name, add another one. Let's just call it Blackhawks Bleed. Ad sets. Okay, so these are all the ad sets. And now I want to go conversion down to the ad. Let's see if we can compare conversions here. So we could see that the I'm going to pull the ad column over so we can view it all on one screen here. So we could see that ad 2, this Bleed 2, brought in 14 sales, the most sales. And then Bleed 3, this was the one with the Minnesota and, or was it? Let me see here. I got a little confused here. Let's just make sure this is the, yeah, Minnesota, Texas one. So that one didn't actually bring in any sales, but look at this. We got a sale, this would have been today, from the Bleed 4, which didn't get a very bit high click-through rate as the other one, but I think it's because we focused on online buyers. So we actually got a sale out of this one today. But we spent $21 to get that sale, so it's not that good. So anyhow, it looks like these shirts are barely breaking even for me, so I'll most likely just end up maybe trying keep it up for one more day, or maybe just stop the traffic and start working the comments. So with that said, we should actually go look at some of the comments and see what I was doing there. Let's go to Facebook here. And let's take a look at Blackhawks. So the Blackhawks one, we've got 10 comments here. Not much activity, really. Share my video, my wall got stepfather. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not a huge Blackhawks fan, but this is cool. People are loving the design. I like that. So that's good response. And the Blackhawks are still in it. So that might still be worth it. Then looking over here, I did do another post this morning saying, great job this season, Habs. We stand behind you, win or lose. Can't wait for next season. Until then, show off your Canadian pride for your favorite team. And I believe right after I posted this, I got 2 sales. So I'm not sure if they came from here or not, but I got lots of activity on this one here. 428 people liked it, 72 shares. Over here, this one got 1,163 likes, 427 shares. Lots of comments, 58 comments. So basically, I just, I must have this shirt. I just respond to them. If you get more than one, or you buy with your friends or coworkers, you save on shipping, get it here. Do you have other types of shirts? Yes, we do. We have T-shirts, women's shirts, tank tops, and hoodies. Select styles drop-down box located under the green order button on the following page. Just answer questions. They're really simple to answer. You know, someone said, technically, couldn't this shirt be for the Rangers too? I said, yes, technically, since it's blue and red, but the H at the bottom of the bleeding strap stands for Habs, so it wouldn't make sense for them to be Rangers. And then they're like, yeah, understandable. I said that a couple times in different places. Someone's like, are the t-shirts shipped from America? Yes, I tell them that. But I reassure them that it's high quality. The shirts are very high quality, and the graphics are screen printed, making it much better than any other print sites like Cafe Press that use digital printing methods. Hope that helps. You know, people like that. I love this comment. If I walked into a giant x-ray machine, on every single one of my bones, it will say Montreal Canadiens. And you know what? I looked at that. That could easily be used on a shirt. You know, it could be something to test. Like, it is a pretty funny saying. You never know. So, lots of good comments. I wonder if I hit any comments. Let me see. I think I did. There's 4 hidden comments. You know, stolen from the Bruins. I didn't want that there. Do you have any other shirts? Those are real ugly, and they have them to make your head snap back. I just, you know, people need to see that. There's some swearing there. Take that off of there. I would like to point out the last time I ordered Habs shirt like this, there were infringement issues. This kind of post right here will completely destroy your sales. You know, we obviously know that because in this whole video series here, you've seen that 2 of my shirts got taken down, right? Obviously that's true, but you can still make shirts that are totally fine. I've proved that with this design, you know, and same with that new design we changed. My rep came back and said, no, that's fine, go ahead and list it, and we're making money on it. So, but when you have to make sure you take and hide these, and to hide a comment, all you have to do is just hit the hide button like that, and now it's hidden. And if you don't want that person to come back to do more comments, just ban that person like this. Or you can delete it completely, right? You can even report it. I find if anyone comes onto my thread and starts advertising another shirt, I always report them. Just because I don't want them taking my money. So basically they're using my ad money to make money with their shirt. That just makes me really angry. I don't want to pay for their advertising, right? So I just report them and then get them out of there. I don't think I missed anything. So basically that's the results. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with these campaigns because I'm barely breaking even. And I don't want to run the risk of losing out on my little bit of profits there. So I'll probably make an extra $100. Well, look at that. I just made another sale. Oh, another 2 sales. Maybe I'll hold on a little bit. Anyhow, it looks like it's going okay. So I'm probably going to keep the budget low at $50 a day. I'll most likely go in and see which one of the Blackhawks ones is making the most money. It still looks like that original one we did, and just pause the other ones. And just keep it simple, and each day I'll just check and see if we're still making profit. But I really want to stay ahead of the game. It looks like I'm going to get all my money back that I spent. So all in all, I think this is a really good full case study which can show you how to take 10 designs all the way to the end and make some profit. In this particular case, it wasn't that profitable, but I've done this many times, and this happens all the time when you won't find a rock star out of your 10, but just keep going, and sooner than later, there's going to be a time when you spend like $100 and all of a sudden you have like $1,000 profit. It's happened to me many times. My best campaign ever, I spent $18,000 to make 35 grand. So if you take 35,000 minus 18, that's about $17,000 profit. It was actually around 18 grand profit, so around there. So that was only in 7 days. It happens. You just got to keep pushing and keep going. So I'm not sure if I'm going to come back with any more videos for this big case study. I think I'll stop it there, and I think that's it. Thanks, and enjoy.